I was born July 16th, 1948, and I've been running as a hobby since 1985. Last 3 years have been kind of hard though, because first, a few years back, I had abdominal aortic aneurysm. I had to take time off for that to heal after the surgery. And then I had prostate cancer, and I had to have radiation for, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. And that was really hard to come back after, because the radiation takes away all your endurance you've built up over the years. Last year I had surgery to repair my aneurysm repair. But I'm going to keep on going, no matter how slow I am. I know I'm so slow, but at least I'm getting some exercise. I recorded that video about a year ago, but I feel a lot better now, and I can run a lot better. Back then I couldn't run too far before I had to quit and walk. But it's hard to run and talk at the same time. I guess I don't pass the talk test too well. But I think my wife finally convinced me that at least I'm out doing something. It doesn't matter how fast you go. The important thing is that you get out and move around. Just go for walks, or just go do whatever you can. A lot of times, if I have a hard time talking myself into going out, the important thing is to think about how well I feel after I went out. I always feel so glad I did. So the important thing is just to go do it. And then afterwards, I'm so glad that I did. This is actually my second exercise today, so I may not go too far. But I went to CrossFit this morning, and I try and do that twice a week. And that's just a lot of exercises. But for my age, 78, CrossFit is okay, because I don't do it on my own. It's a class, and it has instructors, a lot of experience. They actually own the gym, and there's like maybe 165 members in this gym, but they tailor the exercises to the individual. So especially in my case, they don't give me more than I can do. And there's one exercise that we did this morning that was called toes to bar, where you hang from the bar, and not me, but they hang from the bar, and they brought their toes around and touched the bar beside their hands, and they did 25 of those. I can come nowhere close to that, but the instructor, she said, well, can you hang from the bar? And I jumped up on the bar, which I could put my hands around and just have my toes barely on the ground because it was about that height. And she says, "Now see if you can bring your knees to your chest." And so I did. I don't think my knees were up all the way to my chest, but she said that's just fine. Now you do 25 of those. And so I actually wasn't able to do a whole 25, but I did what I could. And it's not like when you're drilling in the Army, they don't keep after you. If you can't do it, nobody says anything. And that's how I survived CrossFit. And so I actually have come to love those CrossFit classes, because there's no failure. You just do what you can. And nobody says anything about, well, you can't do the pull-ups or the toes to bar or anything. And when we have to do like 50 calories on the rowing machine, she writes me a special schedule that says 25 calories on the rowing machine, and then do your other stuff. So I really like the CrossFit, and they tailor it to me, and that's how I can, as a 78-year-old, do that. So I try to go 2 days a week and do the CrossFit, and maybe eventually here I might, if I can afford it. I'm only paying for 2 days a week, but I like to be able to pay for 3 days a week, so we'll see if I can ever do that. But this is a nice little walk through our neighborhood, and I've walked through this neighborhood so much that a lot of the other neighbors that live here, we change hands. There's been so many neighbors walking through this neighborhood with their dogs that we see each other all the time, and so we always say hi, because we see each other walking all the time. This is a great little neighborhood for walking to and running, and there's enough street lights so that you can run in the dark and still there's plenty of light. And then if it starts raining right in the middle of your run, you're not that far from home, so you can just turn around and head for home and be only half a mile away or so. I'll just live right through there, a couple blocks. So it's a great neighborhood. Sometimes I might run far away, but I don't run any too many long distances like I used to. But even just walking like this is good for you. I like to be able to get a full run in, even on the days I do CrossFit. But I don't know about that, but I'm learning that the important thing is just doing something. Just because I could sit at my desk all day long and just watch things. So, or sit in my chair and read, but I want in my retirement, I want to be doing things, and I like to always have a project going or something to do. So running, and I log all of my running and my activities and CrossFit. All I log is CrossFit and running and walking on Strava, which is a social media website for runners. There's no advertising on it.
0.5 miles. Time, 10 minutes, 40 seconds. Current split pace, 21 minutes, 18 seconds.
That was my phone. I have the Strava app on my phone, and it times and maps out when you get done walking or running. It has a map of where you ran. And I'll show you that at the end of this video. And it said I did a half mile in 10 minutes. That's because I've been walking. That's about, but nowadays my running ain't much faster than that. 7 or 8 minutes a mile. Back when I was young, I could run 7-minute miles. Now I run 16-minute miles. Yeah, I meant to say 7 or 8 minutes a half mile. I used to run a whole mile in that, but yeah, this is a nice little neighborhood. And I've been living over in this neighborhood since the 1980s. When I first bought that house that I'm living in now, and then Julie and I got married in 1990. We had both been married before, and she had 2 little girls from her first marriage. They're grown up and have their own kids now. I might try and run some more before I go home. Here's my CrossFit class, and here's my running route for today. This is my first video of what I'm doing in my retirement and how I love to exercise. And so if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel, and you can leave any comments and ask any questions that you want, and so we can make this a really nice community. And I would love it if you could subscribe. So thanks a lot, and I will talk to you next time. Goodbye.
There it is. Come on.